Hey y'all, I keep looking at the wrong thing. I gotta be looking right here. Got these little things up on my wall. I'm still trying to figure out like what else I want to do with these up here. I know y'all probably can't see it though, but yeah. Anyway, hey. So right now it is onesie season because it's December and it's cold. It's probably gonna be my last video of the year, or I might end up putting this one for the first of next year. What's today? Today's Tuesday. I might let this be the last video of the year. I was watching. No, I wasn't watching nothing. I saw on. Well, I was technically watching something. I saw the other day on either TikTok or IG, one of the two. And Erykah Badu, her daughter Puma, I believe, she is, if I'm not mistaken, teaching her how to be a doula. A doula is basically a person that assists with like home births. Let me look at my handy dandy device just to make sure. A doula is a professional trained to provide emotional, physical, and informational support to women throughout their pregnancy, birth, and early postpartum period. Like that time in there when they're pregnant and having the baby basically. And that made me think of the fact that if you can start your child early on their career, or just like start them early in whatever interest that they have, they are more likely to be, in my opinion, successful. Why? Because they already have the knowledge. They've had this set of knowledge and set of skills for so long that it's impossible for them not to be successful. Even if they get older and decide, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something completely different. Those skills that they already have had and acquired over time. I gotta do my hair because I'm about to go to sleep pretty soon. Those skills that they've acquired over time and the people that they met, that is going to help them later in life. So even if, well, I don't know when she actually started, but let's just say she started learning how to be a doula at 15 or 16. I would imagine not too young, because, too young is too young. But learning about, pregnancy and the body and how to take care of another person during that time period and being an emotional support kind of individual. I feel like that's beneficial, especially if that's something that she's interested in doing in the long run. That concept of teaching your child early and passing on the knowledge that you have and teaching them basically, if you're in a certain career path, allowing them to shadow and learn what you're doing, that's called nepotism. And the direct definition for nepotism is the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them a job. I see no problem with that. However, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say however. I see no problem with that. I see no problem with allowing your child or your friend or your family to be put on based on the fact that you know them. I do think that if you are between, how should I say this? I do think that between your family or somebody close to you and somebody who's like super qualified for a job, between the two, I think the person that is like really qualified for that job, they probably should have it, just solely based on the fact that if you can do a job really well, yeah, you should get paid to do it. I'm not going to say that another person should, how should I say this? Well, I'm not going to say that because I think that a person that applies for a job and they can do the job well, they should get it, opposed to somebody who just kind of like is family and they're just kind of like so at it. Or even if you found a way for both of them to do the job, I think that'd be nice. But you know, I'm not an employer, so I can't really, you know, speak to that. But and a lot of times it is the case. Or even like certain, like I said, there's nothing wrong with nepotism. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, unless it's done in a negative sense. I'm trying to think of the word I want to use, but I can't really think of the word. But like, I don't think it should be in a disrespectful kind of way to another person. I'm trying to say it the way I want to say it, but I can't really think of the way I'm trying to say it. So we're just going to go with that for right now. I do believe that, like I said, if you have a child, I'll put it this way: family-owned restaurants or family-owned businesses, and they only hire people that are in their family or like really close friends and stuff like that. I think that's a very good thing too, because if you have been with a person for a certain amount of time, you know the expectations and you know as the individual or as the candidate that that has basically grown with the company and learned over the years, you have a certain set of core values that you've learned and all the other good stuff, and that makes it easier for you to kind of just like step in and, you know, kind of take over. Especially if, let's say something like Chick-fil-A, because I think everybody's pretty much heard of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is family owned, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been in their family and they just keep passing it down. I'm pretty sure at a young age, all of those kids, they've learned about the family company and how it's ran, and they just want to keep it in their family name, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think more people should do it. I don't see why Chick-fil-A should ever be bought by somebody outside of that family. I think they should always keep it in their family, because, you know, passing down something from generation to generation, that's how families stay wealthy and rich. So yeah, that's very important. You don't want to have to make your kids kind of start over from scratch if something has already been built. Now, I ain't saying like pass something down to your ungrateful ass kids and allow them to run your business into the ground. But I will say, I don't think that it's wise for them to go out here and try to fend for themselves if you already have something that's kind of like set in stone and that can help them get started along a certain path without them having to completely start over and be out here basically struggling. So basically just kind of like handing over the blueprint. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, that's actually all I wanted to talk about. I think more people should do that. I think that more people, and even if you don't have a business, just teaching your child early, like if you have a job in finances, teach your kid finances. Or if you're an art teacher, like teach your kids art. Or I don't know, if you're a mechanic, like teach your kids mechanic, like that kind of ordeal. Like there's some, anyway, start your kids early learning stuff that they're going to be able to need to know later in life. Even if they choose to do something completely different, let that be up to them. But don't leave them out here not knowing how to get started and where to begin. And if you start them early, like today I seen a video and these little girls, they were doing their classmates' hair. They can, by the time they're like, I don't even know how old they are. They're probably like in middle school, maybe high school. By the time they're in like, if they're in middle school, but by the time they hit high school, they'll be able to learn how to do these different styles. And man, the way these kids be slaying wigs, boy, I be going to get one. I don't even wear a weave like that. Well, I get my hair braided, but I never had. Have I had a wig? No, I think I had like a partial. Yeah, it was nice though, I ain't gonna lie. My stylist, she did it for me a little minute ago, but convenient. I ain't never had like the little lace front thingy. But the way these kids be putting these wigs together, they be clean. Clean. I just don't like the little long baby hairs. Like, they be dumbass long. I don't like that. But other than that, like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's very artistic the way that they can figure it out and put it together. It's, listen, sometimes I'd be like, dang, is that your real scalp? Or, because I don't even be knowing. And these kids learning how to do lashes and nails and shoot. And they, I mean, you know, sports is kind of like a typical thing. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. But just like things that can help them get started in career mode and what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. What is the word? That's not the word for career. I can't think of it. But yeah, basically just like getting them started on careers. I think that's cool. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If you can put your kid on, put them on. A good way for your child to learn like finances or math would be like finances and learn how to do taxes, stuff like that. That way when they get to be like, yo, so when I first got my check when I was like 18, I did not even I didn't know about taxes for real. I was told about it, but like not for real. So like when I got my first couple checks and I'm like, okay, so I worked this amount of money or this amount of time and I made this amount of money. However, some of it ain't here. And they were like, oh yeah, that's because taxes. I'm like, I don't remember agreeing to any of this. Who's taxes? Oh, Uncle Sam. He ain't my uncle. I don't know, buddy. But that was something that I should have been prepared for. But yeah, I mean, facts of life. You learn, you live and you learn. So, but that's all I really wanted to say. Put your kids on, let them learn as much as possible, as early as possible. My nephew, he been wanting to learn how to do, how to paint and whatnot. So for me, it's just getting into teaching mode and learning mode myself, because I'm actually getting ready to go back to school. And I gotta tell y'all about that too, because I got a lot to say. Actually, I'm gonna make 2 different videos on school because yeah, I don't regret like my first decision about going to school, but I think I just have to tell y'all about it. So I'm gonna end this video right here because I don't want it to be too long. Y'all take care. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Love y'all.